Practice 5.
The university is planning to change the hours of the computer lab. Read the article. You will have 45 seconds to read the article. Begin reading now. Now listen to a conversation between two students.
Hey Mary, did you read this? The school will open the computer labs until 12 a.m. every day.
Yeah, this is wonderful news. I'm especially happy with the decision that they will hire computer majors to work as assistants.
Why? Didn't you like the other assistants? They helped me a lot when I asked for help.
They were okay. They were able to answer general questions, but I couldn't get satisfactory help because they didn't know how to use the computers properly. I mean, last year, I had to print out some materials for my presentation, and the printer got jammed. I asked one of the workers to help me out with this, but he, too, didn't know how to fix the problem. Because of this incident, I had to go over to another lab and retype the whole thing. It took me another 3 hours.
I agree with you on that. I once asked one of the staff to help me use Windows Office, and he didn't have a clue how to use Windows XP at all.
Not only that, there had been a problem with the lab not staying open for the students who need to work until late. The school didn't open the lab because they didn't have enough staff members. Now that the school will hire more people and extend the lab's hours, I think many students will be satisfied with this change.
The woman gives her opinion about this change. What are her reasons for holding that opinion? Please begin speaking after the beep.
Sample answer. In the dialogue, the woman thinks that the university's plan to extend the hours for the computer labs and staff them with computer majors is a good idea. The woman says this plan will definitely help the students because some of the staff in the past could not offer the help that she needed then. When the printer got jammed, a staff member couldn't help to fix it, so she had to go to another lab to write her report for the presentation. Moreover, the woman thinks that more students who have to work until late will be satisfied. Before, the school couldn't keep the lab open longer because of the shortage on staff. With this change, the students will be happy as the university hopes. Practice 6.
Now read a proposal from the school newspaper. Read the letter. You will have 45 seconds to read the letter. Begin reading now. Now listen to two students as they talk about the letter.
Did you read the letter about the computer lab?
Yeah, it seems pretty reasonable, doesn't it?
Well, I'm not sure about the reasonable part. To tell you the truth, I actually don't agree with this idea.
What do you mean?
The first thing is the limited hours. I don't think 1 hour is enough. Sometimes it takes me hours writing a paper. I spend a lot of my time doing the research, and writing is not easy work to do.
If you need more hours, you can come back, though.
It'll be such a hassle for students to sign up on the sheet and come again later to get their projects done. It's not efficient.
Now I see your point. But at least we don't have to hear the noise coming from the hall.
And that's the other thing. What happens if the person on the sign-up sheet shows up later than the person who's next on the list? They will probably argue about who is going to take the seat, and this will bring even more noise into the lab.
I guess you're right. I never thought about it that way.
The woman gives her opinion about the proposal. State her opinion and explain the reasons she gives for holding that opinion. Please begin speaking after the beep.
Sample answer.
The woman thinks the new policy won't be efficient for students. One reason she gives is the limited hours. Students will be allowed to use a computer for only an hour, but she says an hour is not enough. Completing all her paperwork will take her more than an hour. Because of this policy, she has to leave and come back later on. And this also will cause noise and confusion. If the student doesn't show up in time for his or her reserved hours, and if someone else has already taken the seat, this might cause an argument. For these reasons, she is opposed to the new library policy.
Practice 7. The university is planning a new online system for students. Read the article. You will have 45 seconds to read the article. Begin reading now. Now listen to a conversation between two students.
Hey, Michelle, did you read this? The library is going to use the online system to make it easier for us to do our research. Isn't this a great idea?
It sure is. I bet the school can save a lot of money by doing this.
Why do you think so?
Well, the university doesn't need to spend more money than it already does. If the library keeps a lot of materials, it will need more bookshelves and more space. To solve this problem, the school must construct a new building, which could cost them a lot of money. So I think storing all the information in computers would be the cheapest and fastest way to solve the problem in the library.
I guess you're right. I also didn't like wasting too much of my precious time searching for the materials for my assignment.
That's the other thing. It's about time that our school caught up with the times. All the other schools have already begun using computers to find materials. It is more convenient to work online rather than make the trip to the library and spend many hours there. Most of the people have computers in their rooms so they can easily do their research there.
I definitely like to spend less time in the library. It stresses me out.
The woman gives her opinion about the change. What are the reasons she gives for holding that opinion? Please begin speaking after the beep. Sample answer.
The woman agrees with the library change. First of all, she thinks it'll save money. If the university brings in more resource materials, the library has to buy more bookshelves, which will cost them a lot of money. Putting all the materials into the computers, they will be able to save more money. Another thing she points out is the convenience. In the past, students who needed to get some information have had to visit the library and travel around to find the necessary resources. But if they could search for the information through their computers, it would be more efficient and save their time as well.
Practice 8.
The university is planning to turn off the heating system. Read the article. You will have 45 seconds to read the article. Begin reading now. Now listen to a student talking about the library heating system.
I think this policy is unfair. We usually study together in the empty classrooms after class. As you know, our classes are mostly over at 4:30, and if we grab a salad or sandwich at the snack bar, it's almost 5. That's the time we start studying together. It's hard to imagine studying in the building with the radiator shut off during the winter season. We can't study in a classroom with no heat on. Everyone's going to freeze. Always being pretty busy with classes and projects, I can't bring all the work home. And talking about the library, students don't find the library comfortable at all. There isn't space available for students to gather and study together. We can't make noise at the large tables where students are studying individually, and even the students' lounges are not large enough to study together. With students eating snacks all the time, we don't want to study under those poor conditions every day. If the university doesn't care about the students, who else will?
The woman expresses her opinion of the announcement. State her opinion and explain reasons she gives for holding that opinion. Please begin speaking after the beep.
Sample answer.
The woman thinks the new policy to stop the heating service in all buildings after 5 is unfair. The first reason she gives is that most students study in the building when class is over. She says that as they have a heavy workload, students schedule their schoolwork with their peers and do it together when class is over. Considering the class hours, 5 is the time they mostly start their studies. And it'll be hard for students to stand the severe weather in the winter evenings. Another reason she gives is the library. The university announces that the library will keep turning on the heating service so students can use the library. But her point is that libraries are not comfortable enough for students to study together. They can't make noise at the tables where students study individually, and also there are always students eating snacks, so the conditions are not perfect for students to study.